What famous place is not worth visiting? Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's a sidewalk and outside of maybe big events where they may clean the ones around where photos may be taken. It otherwise is just covered in dirt from people's shoes, and some are barely legible because they haven't been cleaned in ages. Plymouth Rock in Plymouth, MA. It's literally just a small rock. Plymouth Rock. I don't know how famous it really is outside of New England, but it's a rock that marks where the Pilgrims supposedly first landed in Massachusetts. It is quite literally just a medium-sized rock with 1620 carved in it, but every elementary school teacher around Massachusetts at least hypes it up for the class field trip to see a literal rock. That is not big, impressive, or really historically relevant. Driving an hour on a bus to see this was the most anticlimactic thing, and I would not particularly recommend. Me, an Egyptian. Ah shit, here we go again. In 3rd grade, a meteor crashed in the backyard of a kid's house in my neighborhood. He talked about it every day at school and said people weren't allowed to see because NASA was collecting samples. A few days later he said we could go see, but everyone had to pay $5. Me and a few friends paid him and went over his house later that day. When we got to the backyard, we saw a approximately 3-foot deep hole that was clearly dug by a shovel. We called him out on it and he said something like, "That's where it landed, but the scientists dug around it with shovels to take samples." Worst $5 I've ever spent. I have no idea where you are nowadays, but fuck you. Benji. Land's End, UK. Heralded as the 4th most disappointing attraction in the UK. It's not even disappointing enough to win an award. Edit. I mean the landmark in Cornwall. Not a clothing store. Dearie me. Escape room employees. What's the weirdest way you've seen customers try and solve an escape room? A friend of mine works for an escape room and he told me one about a puzzle where the key to the next door was shackled to a desk by a combination lock. What you are supposed to do is figure out the combination for the lock from the clues around the room to free the key. What one group decided to do instead was get a guy on each corner and pick up the 150-pound desk and carry it across the room. Slide the key into the lock, and then rotate the entire desk to unlock the door. Why are there so many posts about engineers being unable to keep their hands off the furniture? LMAO. There was a story on here a while ago about a guy in a group of 4 who took a broom from the first room because it had to be for something. He said it looked too out of place to not be needed. Well, he was half right. It was out of place, but that's because it was the broom used by employees to clean the room. It was simply forgotten when they cleaned last time. The guys giving hints thought it was hilarious that this guy carried a broom through 4 rooms, expecting it to be the key to their escape at some point. I thought that was funny as hell. When I was in one, they told us several times that the fire extinguisher is not part of the puzzle. They said it so many times. I'm 98% sure someone once used it. Lol. We were supposed to find the numbers to a padlock. My boss had guessed the answer within 5 minutes. One of the puzzles is opened at the start of the room to reveal a large jug of water with a floating key. But the water level is too low for you to reach it. As you progress through the room, you get smaller canteens to fill up the jug. And X200B. Bachelor party comes in already tipsy. Orders multiple drinks as they progress through the room. And at some point one of them pisses into the jug to raise the water level. This is what made me leave for another job. If you ever go to an escape room, just know we're judging you for every move you make. If you had to legalize a crime, what would it be? Being able to walk with a salmon suspiciously. Selling unlicensed potatoes. I'd legalize putting bikes in pools in California. I think my name makes it obvious. The UK government has effectively banned protests, so I'm gonna go for that. Magic mushrooms. What is a name you shouldn't name your kid today? Knew a girl named Isis. It was a rough time. Gaylord probably isn't very popular nowadays. Precious. My mum is late 60s and her name is Gabriel. But she goes by Gay. Obviously in context. This means happy. But I do not fail to laugh every time she says, "Nice to meet you. I'm Gay. My name is Gay. This is my son." In Denmark, it's illegal to name your child Anus. Google it! Subscribe, my brothers.